This bill be now read a second time, and I call the honourable member for Lawler.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I rise to join this appropriation bill debate. It's been some time since I stood in this place, in this chamber, to join a legislative debate. Some time indeed. And I've been thinking about time a bit today, Deputy Speaker, and haunted by asking myself the question, how long is it since we heard our Prime Minister in a press conference on the lawn just out here say that he needed to challenge the member for Warringah because this country needed economic leadership? How long ago was that, Deputy Speaker? How long ago was it since we had the 2016-17 budget, Deputy Speaker? It seems like an age, an absolute age since the budget. Now, why would it be such a long time for us in between a budget reply, and for me to be in my place, Deputy Speaker, to make my contribution? I remember it's because we had an 8-week election campaign. That's right, a double disillusion election that those in government determined, with a bit of help from their mates in the Greens, that we needed to have. We had to have this double disillusion election. We had to have an 8-week campaign, the longest campaign for most people in their memories, a winter campaign, Deputy Speaker. And now, months later, because of course after the election we all needed to be away from this chamber, away from the People's House, for another 3 months, was it, Deputy Speaker, before we returned to this House to get on with the business that the Australian people pay us to do, send us here to represent them. So months and months later, I'm standing here to make a contribution on the appropriations bill, Deputy Speaker. I would suggest strongly that the government in this case should be condemned for the time wasting that has occurred this year. And our Prime Minister should be asked every day when he gets up and looks in the mirror, where is the man who was going to deliver economic leadership? Where has he gone? Because that's what the public are asking. The public are asking, where is that man? Because, Deputy Speaker, what we know from the 2016-17 budget, what we know from the change in leadership for those opposite, what we know from an 8-week election campaign is that nothing has changed with the change of the leader. Nothing has changed with the change of members who came into seats previously held by that side. Lots has changed on this side because we have a lot more members, as I look at my colleagues around this room, Deputy Speaker, because that's the other thing that the Prime Minister said. He said he's got a working majority, and of course the first week back at work he found out what a working majority should look like but doesn't look like late on a Thursday afternoon, Deputy Speaker. But we also know that nothing's changed. We know we've got a work-shy government. We've got a government that doesn't want to show up and sit on those benches and be accountable and be held accountable to the public of Australia. They want to run the country from inside a shock jock studio or inside Sky News. They don't want to be in this space and run this government. They don't want to answer questions at question time. And it's not a surprise, because let's face it, straight after the election we saw the Prime Minister's battle plan. The battle plan, 23 of the 25 points in that battle plan were Abbott policy, Deputy Speaker. Nothing has changed here.